We are joined today by Congresswoman Hillary Scholten. Hillary, I want to thank you for being with us today. Glad we're able to have this time to speak with you because you had some comments on Thursday about President Joe Biden suggesting that he should step aside. And I'm just curious, because you're the first congressional leader here in the state of Michigan with such a statement, why take the lead on this and why do it now?
Well, time is of the essence, really, is what it comes down to. And, I think we all saw what we saw on the night of the debate. For me, it was a real eye-opening moment that raised a lot of concerns about the president's ability to be the leader, the standard bearer that we need for the next 4 years, right? And as I said in my statement, this is not about the past, about, any of his accomplishments that he's done in the past, but we need to be taking a very, very critical look at the future, right? And this is about building the best possible future for the American people, for our constituents here in West Michigan. That is possible. We have a lot of voters who feel like, they would never vote for Donald Trump. Many who would, who are considering an alternative at this point. And for me, as someone, who believes that we need to have the best possible candidate in a position who is going to support working families like ours, who's going to protect women's rights to make their own healthcare decisions, who's going to continue lowering healthcare costs. These are the things that I have fought for, that, I believe the Democratic Party has continued to fight for, that Joe Biden has fought for. And it's a real concern to see that we don't have a standard bearer for the next 4 years to do something like that.
At the end of your statement, you said it's time to pass the torch. Who should the torch be passed to?
Well, I think fortunately we still do have a process through which we can choose a replacement through a democratic process. That's why I'm choosing to make this statement now. We have a convention through which we can nominate a different candidate if Joe Biden chooses to step aside. And, that's where this statement comes in and, respectfully says, we're asking you to make that decision, right? Ultimately, this can only happen if the president chooses to step aside and to release the delegates so that they can be chosen for a new nominee through a democratic process at the convention.
I believe it was exactly 10 days ago you spoke to our Elliot Grandia talking about your support for President Biden. What did you see during that debate that changed your mind, if that's what it did for you?
Yeah, it was alarming, right? And I think it was, a lot of people say panic. I have said before, I did not feel panic in that moment, but I did feel deep concern over what we were going to do. I was always raised, if you see something, say something. I don't want to look back on this moment and know that I could have said something, I could have done something and made a difference, and I didn't do anything. More than anything, when I talk to our constituents, they just want a Congress, a government that works for them. They want a president who's just going to make it work. And a lot of people are feeling disillusioned and even scared right now that the two options we have at the top of the ticket, are a convicted felon, right? Who, I deeply believe we should be spending just as much, if not more time talking about, the true chaos that would ensue from another 4 years there. We've seen it before. We've seen the type of chaos that has happened under the Republican-led leadership in this Congress. And someone who, people have legitimate health concerns over. He's delivered on an incredible record in the past, but can that continue going forward? I want to be able to look my children in the eye and say, I did everything I could to get us someone who could deliver on that and make our government the best and strongest that it can be into the future.
How can you say you're not panicking when there's this much uncertainty within the party and the DNC is less than 6 weeks away?
I don't panic. I plan. That's why I'm making a statement now. That's why through measured conversations, pragmatic research and a detailed and prepared response, we're making sure that we're doing everything possible to be as organized, as unified as possible heading forward. It was time to say something. I don't answer to any party, any person. I only answer to my God, my constituents, and our country.
Is there anything you saw during Thursday night's press conference with Joe Biden speaking to reporters for an hour that maybe didn't change your mind, but maybe calmed the nerves of some voters if they still want him at the top of the ticket?
Well, again, this is not about the past, and it's even not about the present. I think the president has done a great job delivering on some things that really matter to the American people, right? Lowering healthcare costs, capping insulin at $35, a record that really any president would be so proud to run on. Those are the things that he has accomplished and that he's continuing to accomplish right now. I actually think, the press conference was pretty good. It's what we would hope to see from a president. But that is, again, not about can he continue to do that for the next 4 years. We're continuing to see alarming signs that while it might be, there's bad days, there's good days. Even the campaign has said that, right? As people age, it's a natural part of getting older that that happens, that slowing down happens. And I think we need to seriously consider whether that is going to continue to happen in such a way that it will prevent him from being the strongest possible candidate for the next 4 years. And this is really about the democratic process and giving people the best possible chance that they have to have the strongest leader that they can vote for in the election come November.
And would that be Kamala Harris?
Again, I think there needs to be a democratic process to choose who that person would be. There is time at the convention if the delegates are released, and this is a decision only the president can make. But if the delegates were released, that we could have a primary process at the convention to choose where the delegates would go.
Joe Biden is a man with such an extensive political career, represented Delaware in the U.S. Senate for 36 years, served as vice president with Obama for 2 terms, president for 1. So he's got as long of a resume and as decorated of a resume as anyone in the political space. But in a world of recency bias, it seems like he'll most be remembered for holding on for too long. How do you think this is going to impact his legacy?
To be perfectly honest, it's one of the reasons why I also felt it was time to make this public call. And there's a lot of people I've talked to who do support the president, and it's painful. It's painful to see these types of things tarnishing his legacy. I hope that he will do the right thing and step aside, because I do believe there is still time to cement his legacy as someone who championed the Violence Against Women's Act, which has saved countless women and girls from domestic violence and sexual harassment. He passed a once in a generation Safer Communities bill, which curbed gun violence in our communities. Once in a generation bipartisan infrastructure law, which is paving our roads, creating bridges for generations to come. And most importantly, he saved the world from the rising tide of authoritarianism in 2020. And I believe that he can do that again by stepping aside this time in 2024.
Are your comments more rooted in he's old and we don't know what the next 4 years are going to look like if he wins the presidency, or more rooted in if he's at the top of the ticket, he might not beat President Trump the way things stand right now?
This is purely about making sure that we have the best possible leader at the top of our ticket for leading us forward into the next 4 years, right? Into 2025 and beyond. We are facing some of the biggest challenges that a country can think of facing, right? All other countries around the world are facing inflation. We're feeling it acutely here at home as well, right? Trying to bring manufacturing back home, lowering healthcare costs, tensions around the world. And we need to make sure that we have a leader that is presenting the case to current voters, but also the next generation of voters. I'm a mom of two young kids. I'm an elder millennial myself, and I know how disillusioned young voters are feeling right now. That I heard after the debate, some person saying, really, like, this is how I'm supposed to learn about electoral politics? Two older men arguing about golf? That can't possibly be where we are. And it's sad, right, to think that has how it's been reduced, because when you put the contrast of these two gentlemen up next to each other, there is no contrast, right? One is a convicted felon, right, with 34 felony counts, and the other, is a president that has served with integrity. I haven't always agreed with the president. I've made no bones about that here on this show a number of times, but who has delivered so many of the things that we just talked about, and has an incredible career of public service. But what we're voting on in 2024 is not the past. We're voting on the future.
How much of a role does it play of this potentially impacting your political career down the road if he were to stay where things are?
I'm running to be the representative for Michigan's 3rd congressional district, and so I'm running my own unique race. I'm not concerned about that impact. I have a great relationship with our voters here, and they have elected me to do a very specific job in the United States Congress. I think I've done an incredible job delivering on the promises of my campaign, and I'm ready to go for another 2 more years. So I deeply believe that my voters will come out for that particular reason. But, there's no doubt across the country, we're seeing an impact on the state and the electoral politics across the country. The state of Michigan, we were lean Democrat for the presidential race, and now we're considered a toss-up. We were lean Democratic for the Senate race. Now we're considered a toss-up. So, I think there is an impact that needs to be considered. While there's still time, I think it's important to reflect the desires of the voters who are expressing concerns. I know I couldn't act, hearing all of the concerns I have over the last 2 weeks, and not take action. So, this is really an important moment to take action while there's still time.
I'll end with this. Let's go. Let's put ourselves in the future here. We're at the Democratic National Convention. What is the best case scenario for you and the party?
I think a best case scenario is we have a slate of some of the best and brightest talent that the Democratic Party has to offer, making their case to the delegates, who were selected through the democratic process, and making the case to the delegates about who should be the next top of the ticket. I hope that includes the vice president and some other top talent that we have from around the country.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see here in just a little bit. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. We appreciate it, Congresswoman. Thank you.